I'm going to use this simple calculator program to demonstrate how you need to take information from a text box, convert it to a number so you can perform calculations on it. Many of the programs that we are going to work with, including the one for the project in this module, are going to require you to do this. So the idea of the calculator is this. I'm going to put in a number here, a number here. I'm going to choose an operator. And then I'm going to put the result down here. So I'm just going to do one of these operations. So I'm going to double click here because I'm going to work on my plus operator first. The first thing that I need to do is I'm going to create two integer variables where I can store that text box information. Now I'm following the naming conventions that the book discusses. I'm going to start them off with int because they're going to be integers. You could certainly do this with any other data type. I'm just picking this as an example. Now what I want to do is into this integer value, I'm going to store what is in the first text box. So I'm going to start to type txt, and you can see from the IntelliSense I can go down. Number 1 has been selected, so I could just hit the tab key if I want, and I have to pull out its text property. Txt number 1 is the text box. Txt number 1.text is the data that's inside of the box, which is currently a string. Now I can't put a string into an integer, so I'm going to convert this to an integer using one of the conversion functions, and I'm going to use cint to do that. I'm going to do the same thing for the second one. And you'll notice if you use these prefixes as suggested in the book, the IntelliSense works very nice. So int value 1 is highlighted. I can use my arrow key if I want to move down to int value 2 and hit the tab key. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to take the information from the text box called text number 2, convert it to an integer, and store it back here. Since this is the button click event for the plus button, I'm going to add them together, and I'm going to store this in result. I'll have to go back up and declare that in a minute. Okay. Now I can perform a mathematical calculation on these two because they're integers. I can't perform a mathematical calculation on this because it's a string. Just adding my result in there. Now the idea would be to take this int result and store it right here in this label, which is called LBL result. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go back to my code. So in LBL result, and remember I have to put it in its text property. Result is the label, .text is the information inside it. I'm going to store int result. Now this actually will, it can work depending upon what options you have on your compiler. It could put an integer into a string, but I think it's better to use one of the string conversions. This will make sure it's a string. Okay, so let's run it and see what happens. I'll put in 5, 7, 2, hit the plus sign, and the 7 goes down here. I should probably put the operator out there as well to make this look nicer. Okay. The other option that you have is you can use the toString function, which does the same exact thing. And this will be more helpful when we get to formatting data at a later point in time.